Ladies and gentlemen, Direct Sale Nation presents Chantel Schultz. Get the latest information on direct sale companies, products, business building strategies, and opportunities. We support the guys and gals next door because we are the guys and gals next door. Join us at directsalenation.com to find and list a business and sign up for our newsletter. And now your host, Chantel Schultz.
Well, today we're here with Lena Anderson, and she is a Mary Kay Independent Team Leader, and she is going to talk to us about some really awesome ways that we can build our business and also get our name out there. And a lot of these things are going to be for free, so I'm super excited to hear about it. How are you today?
I'm well. How are you, Chantel?
I'm excellent, and thanks for being here, so take it away.
Good. Well, just really quick, I'm calling in from Clarksville, Tennessee. So hello to everyone in Clarksville, Tennessee, home of the Screaming Eagles and Fort Campbell. So I wanted to send a shout out to everyone in the area. And then, of course, I need to send a shout out to all my Limitless ladies who will be watching this video. We're building our new unit, and we're all super excited. And so I want to say, yay, girls. All right. So now that we've gotten that out of the way, like Chantel mentioned, I am a Mary Kay Independent Team Leader is my official title at the moment. And what that means is that I am just actively working in moving towards the direction of the 2% top of Mary Kay, which is basically sales leadership. I want to be a sales director.
Awesome.
And what I wanted to share with you tonight is just about how I have built my business using social media, which I think is so key. I know at least for the military community, all of my customers are basically online. They're on Facebook. They're going to go online and figure out anything and everything, and it's usually going to be part of like a Facebook group, right? Before it's even Google at this point. So I just wanted to talk about how one of the things I have each new team member do in my unit is to create a business Facebook page. Okay. Now, I know that that's not an option for everybody in direct sales. We've got some direct sales companies out there that don't give you access to like an online interface to make orders. So that might be a little bit more difficult if you're one of those situations. Or there's even some online direct sales companies that say, we don't want you using Facebook at all. So, you know, if you're not in Mary Kay, check. But if you're in Mary Kay, yay, I can help you. So Mary Kay is so up to the times with what customers are wanting now that they actually have a section online in our consultant resources that describes step by step how they want you to see your Facebook page set up, what they want you to list for the category, everything. So that's amazing. Mary Kay is also in the next couple months setting up a program so that they will actually do postings on your business Facebook page for you that is going to run concurrent with what they're doing on their Facebook page, which almost has, I think, 2 million likes.
Oh, wow.
So if you're a Mary Kay consultant, kind of watch out for that. But number one, first and foremost, is setting up a Facebook page. So great, you've set it up. What's the next step? Well, the next step is you need to keep it current, right? You need to literally post a minimum, I would say, of 3 times a week. Why is that? Because if you're not kind of out there and in their, what we feel like in their face, you lose your message. And I'll have a lot of new consultants come to me and say, oh, I just feel like all I talk about is Mary Kay. All I talk about is Mary Kay. And then I have to remind that new teammate, if you just look at my personal Facebook page, for example, I have over 500 friends. So there's times where I'll have someone say, oh, did you see what I posted on Facebook last week? And I'm like, no, because I can't keep up with the news feed, right? Like I get so much stuff. I'm only a quarter of it. So you might think you're posting too much, but you're really not posting that much. So number one, stay current. Number two, every personal Facebook profile has the option for you to list where you work. Well, I work for my Facebook page. So when you see my name on my personal Facebook profile, Right underneath that, it's going to say employment or job, and it's going to say Lena Anderson, Mary Kay, independent beauty consultant, because that's my job. And so I think that's like another step that's for free. The other thing you can do is you can go in there and you can build your audience. You can invite all your friends to like the page. You can share. And then you can also, from there, you can also like branch out and share it in groups on Facebook. So it's just an amazing tool. I have used it for about 18 months. And in 18 months, I've gone from 0 fans, like I think 262. Okay. So the other thing you can do is if you're on Facebook and you're really watching Facebook is you can run a promo or a special that encourages additional likes to your page. Utilizing a before and after photo model that I've helped do her color foundation, everything. And one of the rules of that model winning my free giveaway is that all the people that vote for her or him have to like my business page. And so it just keeps my presence online expanding. And I think another thing that a lot of people don't realize about Facebook and the power of Facebook is literally the number of likes and your rating score, your page, will determine where you fall on a Google search. So because I'm currently sitting at 262 likes and my rating is 4.6 out of 5 stars, when you Google Mary Clay, Clarksville, Tennessee, I'm the first one to pop up. Okay? So now MaryKay.com's like in there, unsponsored, but I didn't pay a dime to be right up at the top. So kind of another really important thing. So staying current, sharing it everywhere, even if you think that it's too much, because it's really not. And then working on creating, that sort of thing. Create the account. That's my first big advice about social media.
Awesome.
People have any questions about that?
Maybe some ideas on like how to, I know you just gave an example about like, you know, doing the game or, you know, the people voting and stuff, but like how else to really like get your page out there so that people actually like it. Because I think there's a big misconception because when I've done things on my page to get likes, people will like the post, but like don't get it that they have to like the page.
Right.
So I'm like, well, and this like counts, and so does this like.
Exactly. So it's super hard. But here's the beauty of when someone likes your page, you're given a notification. It's like, to me, that's almost like someone saying, hey, I might be interested in Mary Kay, right? And so you actually have like a name of a person who's liked your page. So I go so far as to track that person down. If that's not my friend, I'm going to go to the person whose makeover it was, search her friends, find this person and say, hey, don't forget to like my page so your vote counts. So, it's literally, I mean, sometimes it's the chase, right? So they just don't know that they missed a step. They like don't know enough about Facebook to know they've got to go in here and then fan this and then like, you know, we can't assume that everybody knows as much about Facebook as some of us do. I think that that's one way to kind of solve that. You're literally notified every time anybody does anything. So it's just a follow-up. So I get notified, did that person do exactly what I wanted them to do? And if they didn't, follow up with them in a private message, send them a friend request, you know, tag them and say, I sent you a private message. It's in your others folder. I mean, it's just follow up.
Oh, good idea. Yeah, well, see, I thought I'd seen that, like, you can actually contact the people who like your business page. But I haven't figured out how to invite them to an event yet. Because you know how you can invite your like personal friends, but I haven't figured out how to invite my fans. And then also, I didn't know if they thought that it might, I mean, like, I wouldn't think it would be weird if somebody contacted me from a page that I liked, you know, if they were promoting something. But some people are kind of like, oh my God, you know what I mean?
Too intrusive. Well, and I think that that's the beauty of direct sales. I mean, you could get that same reaction by walking up to someone person to person. The beauty of Facebook is they can unlike your page at any time.
That's
they can
true.
unfriend you, you know. And I'm not going to lie, it's even happened even with some family members. And they're like, well, we want to see more photos of your son and less about your Mary Kay. And I've just like had to say, well, you can come visit my son, but Facebook's for my business. Like, this is how I do business. So you're going to have to make a decision. That's the freedom of America, right? Like me, friend me, don't friend me. So yeah, I totally understand. But at the end of the day, what I realize is when I look through my notifications, I have so many invites to this, like my page, that, post here. People are going to engage with what they want to engage with.
Yes.
And what I found is even if that person doesn't engage with me personally, what I have found is if that person's kind of like in another group and someone asks for Mary Kay, they'll tag me.
Oh,
So
awesome.
Customer, right? But they know. They like the power of knowing, I know a Mary Kay consultant. I can tag her in a post. I'm going to feel helpful. And then I think I might even be taking it a step further. I take every post I put on my business page, I share on my personal timeline.
Mm-hmm.
So every single time, I think a lot of people who start Facebook business pages don't realize that those don't automatically pop into the newsfeed.
Mm-hmm.
Because pages got so popular, Facebook had to kind of limit how that worked. And so you literally have to share it onto your personal profile after you've created a post.
Right.
So, I mean, at the end of the day, I think out of over 400 or 500 friends and over 260 likes to my page, I think I've had like 2 people. You know what I mean? So what is that percentage of people I've offended?
Like nothing?
Pretty good odds, right? So
Right.
I think don't be afraid. Do it, like it, share it, put it everywhere. Don't be afraid. Put it on a business card.
Oh, yeah. Well, and also I've noticed that I used to just do Facebook only on my phone, on my iPhone. And doing it on your desktop or like a regular laptop, you have so much more versatility. Like you can share between different pages that you manage and all different kinds of stuff. Whereas like if I saw like I put a post from my Scentsy page and then I wanted to like comment on it as myself, I can't do that. I can only comment on it as my Scentsy page from my cell phone. But if I come to my desktop, then I can like comment as myself or as another business page that I manage and then more people see it, you know? So that's something to keep in mind.
Little cell phone app for the pages. Facebook Pages has its own little app, and then Facebook has its own little app.
Mm-hmm.
So I literally go into Pages, I post something on my business, then I go to the Facebook app, and then I get it to show up on my newsfeed, then share it. I know, it can be kind of a pain. But the beauty is, the more you do it, like I can sit on the couch in my PJs and like completely So, yeah, with practice, you get better and better. And then you figure out, oh, I got to have this app to do that and this app to do that. And things. So, I mean, I think Facebook business building, I've also just recently implemented in this to team building. And so in your direct sales company and you're at that point where, okay, I got the selling down. I love selling my products. I've got what's next. You want to move into leadership. What I've found is creating a Facebook group for your team and your prospects.
Okay.
Ideal. Okay. So it's a closed group that only I can invite people to or my teammates can invite people to. And it's literally set up to encourage, motivate, reward, and inform all the ladies who are on my team, because I don't have any guys yet, so I have to say ladies. If you're out there, I need a guy on my Mary Kay team. You guys like make the most money ever. I'm just saying.
Yes. And if you're a single dude, like that's the best place to meet people.
All these women, all you have to do is go, oh, that color looks so good on you. And she'd be like, 4, please. 4.
Yes.
4. So anyways, I digress. But having a group for your team has been so perfect because I can literally instant time reward or acknowledge successes that we've done in our unit. And then I'm able to invite friends who are acting kind of like as my business managers, believe it or not. I talk to everyone. I'm like, take a look at this group. Where am I missing an incentive program? Like, where can I improve? I get them on there, and so they can kind of say, you know, Lena, you've got a price for this and a price for this, but you don't have a price for that. And then I also invite ladies who have thought about selling Mary Kay, but honestly, they just don't have enough information. Mm-hmm. And so they can go in there and ask questions, and they can kind of see what it would be like to be a Mary Kay consultant on my team. Because let's be honest, in every direct sales company, you don't get to choose necessarily who your grandma or your grandpa is. Mm-hmm. Choose your recruiter. And we're all different. So, you know, I might be giving new teammates infinity scarves, but if you run into a Mary Kay woman down the street, she might not be giving you anything to be on her team. So it's kind of like I get to show off, this is what it means to be on the Limitless unit. And mm-hmm. it makes sense. So just another way to utilize Facebook. And then you're not blasting all of that on your sales business page. You're kind of keeping it separate. Right. So really another good way is those groups if you're not using those.
Oh, good. So do you post stuff about your opportunity and stuff on your business page as well? And if so, like, how often do you do that?
You know, if there's an amazing special from Mary Kay that Mary Kay is talking about, like last month we had our starter kit on sale for $75, then I'll post it there. But I'll be honest with you, I am kind of choosy when I come to the women I work with. And so I prefer to meet women at an appointment mm-hmm. or, you know, someone who searches me out. Just this week, I had a woman who went on to Mary Kay. She searched all the consultants in Clarksville, read all our bios, and she chose me to work with. Mm-hmm. I'm more interested in working with a woman who wants the opportunity rather than just responds to kind of like an infomercial, mm-hmm. right? A product. Like, oh, look, special on being a Mary Kay consultant this month only. So to be honest with you, I like to keep the recruiting side really special. And that might just be a Mary Kay thing. I mean, it might be different in other direct sales companies. Don't get me wrong. Consultants in Mary Kay save 40% to 50% on the product that they know and love. But I like to keep that sacred. Right. So if I was in a different direct sales company, I couldn't even tell you how often I'd post that. I don't know. Maybe like once a month? Yeah. I don't know. Once a month? Right? When everyone's getting their new Scentsy bars, for example.
Yeah.
No, and it's so hard because I can only speak to you about my experience at Mary Kay. Mm-hmm. And like I'm saying, we are like a community. Like the scarf I'm wearing now is our affinity scarf for our group. And so all the ladies on my team wear this infinity scarf. So I've talked to many women who work in all kinds of direct sales company, but we truly have this like amazing like identity and community. Mm-hmm. So that's all I can speak to on that.
Okay, cool. All right. So what else do you have for us?
Okay. So other great resources, free great resources, social media, that I'm going to talk about that have to do with online is registering your business with Google. I don't know if everyone's done that, but if you register your business on Google, then like when you're searching for a Mary Kay consultant in Clarksville, your home address will pop up on their Google Maps. So it's kind of all linked. Mm-hmm. So that's super amazing. Use that if you don't mind people knowing where you live. I personally don't care, so I put it everywhere. So registering your business on Google, and it's not a super simple process. Basically, you have to ask Google's permission to post your business through their site, and then they send you something in the mail to kind of confirm that you're real, which I think is cool. And then they give you a confirmation number. You enter that in, and then you're registered with Google as your business. Yellow Pages, White Pages, Manta, LinkedIn, Twitter. You can link your Facebook to your Twitter and your Twitter to your Facebook. Like, don't spend extra time posting to both.
So you can like post on Facebook and it automatically goes to Twitter?
Yes. It's like linked. It's like a linked account. I never log into Twitter. I don't even know what's going on Twitter. I'm not a Twitter girl, but I know every time I post to Facebook on my business page, it goes to my Twitter account. So exactly, like, check it out. It's like so amazing. And I think, Chantel, I'll share you kind of like all these places I use with you afterwards. If anyone's interested in going in and looking at my business Facebook page and kind of seeing the format I set up and what kind of photos I'm posting and what kind of things am I saying on my page, they can get a better sense of what I'm doing, and I'll share my Twitter account so they can see it linked. Because I think it's important kind of having a visual, right? So if I was in Scentsy, what would I post? I'm so out there, I might post me smelling the scent, right? I mean, like, I go there because that's what people like. Just this month for my makeover contest, I had a customer say, I will only do it if you do it. It was like a dare, right? I was like, I'll do it, even though, like, only my husband see me without my foundation on. A before and after photo and post that to my page, and it's really got the most reach out of all my posts in the last week. So I'll be sure to share all that with you. But yeah, you've got to do the LinkedIn, the Facebook, the Instagram, the Twitter. How do you link those so they don't take as much time? You've got to have the page, you've got to have the group. It just kind of goes on and on and on. And I live on those things, for about 3 hours a day, I would say. And then I have to go out and do the people stuff. But I collect my leads from Facebook, and then I go out and service those in-person appointments from that point on. So I'll ask for models on my Facebook page, and they'll set up their appointments on Facebook through private messages, and then I will go visit them at noon and 2 on Wednesday after I've set it up on Monday on Facebook. So it's kind of how it works.
How exciting. Okay, and so then this thing with yellow pages and white pages, that all is similar to like what Google is. You just register and put your business on there?
You register and put your business on there, and they all have kind of different confirming requirements. So yeah, but you have to kind of, I think I almost Googled like the top 10 places I must register my business with, I think is how I did that. And then it just came up with a list of the top 10. And you've got some that are paid and some that aren't. So Manta is a great resource, and you can pay for more. I just chose to use their free service. But all these things kind of help feed the Google monster or the Bing monster or whatever monster, because reality is that I would like to say that when someone Googles or Bings Mary Kay, that they're going into they go to marykay.com, and then they hit the beauty locate or the consultant locator finder, right? And then they type in their zip code, and then they choose me out of the 50 million that pop up. But in reality, people want like 2 clicks, right? Mm-hmm. Clarksville, Lena, click, done. Mm. So you have to really think about how to eliminate all those steps.
Well, speaking of Google, have you played on Google Plus yet?
A little bit. I mean, I'm registered as a Google Plus member with my business and personal, but no, I haven't really gotten into the Google Plus phenomenon. Is it picking up?
Well, I think so. I don't know. I've heard so many different things. I read a book called What the Plus.
Okay.
It's an ebook. It's like $2 or $2.99 on Amazon, so it's fully affordable. And it's really interesting. It basically goes through all the nuts and bolts of like how to set up your profile, and then it gives you a few ideas on how to actually use it. I haven't spent a whole lot of time actually checking it out, but it's really it's like Facebook on steroids. So it's like some of the problems with Facebook on a business page would be that not everybody sees your posts. Like, in fact, if you haven't, been running a contest, or, you're just kind of like throwing stuff out there, then you could get like, as little as 12% of your people actually see what you post, which is discouraging sometimes. But then you just, put something out there that people can interact with you with, and then you're back up on top,
Right.
So anyways, with Google Plus, everybody sees everything that you post. And then you can go ahead and put everybody into different types of circles. So you can have friends and family. You can have your team. You can have your customers. You can have your hostesses. And then every time you make a post, it goes on out into a news feed similar to Facebook. And then you get to select what circles actually see what you're putting out there. Or you can just put public, and then everybody you're associated with is.
Okay.
So the thing about Google that people don't like is that, well, they came to the party a little late. They're like 5 years behind, Facebook.
I heard that they did 11 billion though or something in 6 months. It was super fast.
Well, it was whenever Facebook switched over
their pages.
Yes. And so now a lot of businesses have moved over to Google Plus because it's completely free. You don't do the ads and things like that. You can join different communities, but still compared to Facebook, they don't have as much of a following or as many people there. So, which is a good and a bad thing. It's bad because when you get there, you're like, well, now what? But because everybody else feels the exact same way, everybody is circling you into their circles, and you don't have to friend request them. You can just automatically put them in your circle, and then they decide. I mean, either way, they're going to see what you post, but they could friend you back, or not friend you, or circle you back is what they call it. Yeah. So
it's a groundbreaking opportunity. So if you're not on Google Plus, so I'm in Google Plus, I checked the box, but I haven't really explored it. And so I'm hearing you saying, get in there, get your system set, understand how it works so that when Facebook does another thing that makes people mad,
yes,
it blows up, then you'll already be in and done.
Yes. And see, Google is the big, if Google wanted to put Facebook, Twitter, all that out of business, all it is just one little switch in the algorithm and people won't be directed to Facebook, Right. And you can link all of your websites and everything to your Google Plus profile, and then people can +1 you, which is the same thing as liking you. And so then whenever people do a Google search on you, which I've totally switched to Google. I used to be all Yahoo. No. I'm all about Google now. Google Chrome and all that stuff.
Google, yeah.
But people can +1 you. And then however many +1s you get, that's how you move up in the ranks of your Google search engines also. And it all plays in together with their algorithm or whatever. And I'm not sure all the science behind it or whatever, but you can also make, you'll make your profile and then you make your business page. So I have a Cincy business page over there, but I'm not over there very much because I haven't figured out all the ins and outs just yet.
Right.
But I did a search on Cincy people, and there's just a handful of people who are actually over there. So when Google Plus actually when people start cluing in to all the wonderful things that Google Plus has going on, because you can do your Google Hangout. You can do all of your Google stuff is over there. I mean, it's just one click away, Google Drive. I don't know if you use any of the Google Drive tools.
Google Drive, yes.
Awesome. But it's all there together. And if people like us, go over there and set up camp over there, then and start promoting it, then we'll be the old dogs. When everybody else goes over.
Have you set up your Google Plus yet? Oh, you haven't? Oh, you probably should.
Yeah, exactly. Well, and I figured, I was eventually once I get it a little bit more figured out, maybe I'll go ahead and start hey, by the way, I'm on Google Plus too, and kind of get my Facebook followers to just kind of follow me in both areas. So, and I guess the way
I've totally got homework tonight now because I'm I got to know this Google Plus thing, I got to know this. Yeah, if you've mastered Facebook, move on, go to Google Plus. That's what I'm hearing.
Mm-hmm.
I think you're right. Someone introduced it to me about, maybe 8 months ago, and she's a blogger, and she featured on me and my business. It was all about Google Plus. She was like, oh, Google Plus, so I went in there. But I'm probably even further behind with Google Plus than you are because I just went in and did it,
Yeah.
I don't even know what my username and password is. So, see, that's another thing. Check it out. Especially if you're having a hard time finding leads or, because it's all about who you know and who they know, right? So, if you're in need of that stuff, then you really do need to be kind of out there on social networking. And I can't tell you how many times, it's 2 to 3 times a week, because I'm just at that point now where minimum of 2 times a week, someone will call and say, I Googled you and, you know, I need my Mary Kay.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So it's not, I logged on to Mary Kay, I did the consultant locator, I typed in my zip code, I checked out all the bios. No. How many clicks? That's like 4 steps. Like we at the first one. So yeah, definitely.
And I think a lot of people don't know that they can do that on a lot of sites, that they can go in and locate a consultant.
It's not how I would do it, you know? It's not like, I need clothes. Where's the nearest JCPenney? And then go to jcpenney.com and then type, who does that?
Right, exactly.
It's like JCPenney Clarksville in Google.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I think that that's a really important point is, you know, asking yourself, with the current systems you have now, how do people find you?
Mm-hmm.
How do they know about you?
Yes, definitely.
So that's one of the big things online, so important. And then of course we have all these apps for phones. I don't know if everyone's using a system called Voxer. Have you heard of Voxer?
Voxer?
Voxer.
Okay.
Okay, so Voxer is amazing because literally when you're a leader in Mary Kay, your goal is to like reach out, encourage, motivate, and support like literally once to 3 to 5 times a week, just depending on where that consultant is in her Mary Kay journey. And one of the great ways to do it is instead of calling that teammate when you don't know what she's doing, we like to put out a Voxer message. And so Voxer gives you the opportunity to invite people into a group and literally you can all talk together kind of like walkie-talkies on your own time. So I can give out a message to my group and just say, good morning, ladies. Good morning, Limitless ladies. This is Lena. I'm just calling to encourage you this morning and share something that's going to get me going for the day and kind of ask them to think about, you know, what are they doing today? And a teammate can either listen to it 30 seconds later, a week later, a day later, respond back or not. And so it's just kind of another way to reach out because I've discovered that not everybody on my team uses Facebook.
Yeah.
So then what? You know, then what?
Yeah. Well, and to me, I'm like, what? You're not on Facebook? But for the longest time, I wasn't on Facebook either. And I finally got, well, you know, because when Facebook first got all popular, it was like all these exes were trying to contact these married people. And it was like, you know, drama.
Hide from, yeah.
Yeah. And there was also, well, I was a teacher for 6 years and we had this show called Channel 1. And they would run all these like news programs and the media would just try to scare you, you know, like you don't want to put out your personal information because people will find you. And we're like, wait, that's what we're trying to do here. We want people to find us. Right. But at the time I was like, oh, that's too scary. And then a bunch of my sorority sisters were having all these like hangout events and I was not getting invited. So my feelings were all hurt and they were like, oh, well, that's because we put it on Facebook. Like, get on Facebook.
Yeah. It's so true though, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But then when you have someone that you're kind of charged with encouraging, motivating, supporting, you know, then it's like, well, what do you do? Because I know that person doesn't want a Monday morning call at 9 a.m. from Lena Anderson. She loves me, right? And she loves Mary Kay, but there's a limit. And it's not me calling her when she's at work doing what she does every week. And so I found Voxer to be, it's more personal than text. It's not as evasive as a FaceTime call, right? Mm-hmm. And it's literally a message that she can hear or I can share it with the whole team. So you can just Vox someone and it's like leaving them a special voicemail without having a missed call. Mm-hmm. Or I can put it out to a group of 15 women and say, so I'm thinking about doing this, this, and this. Will that work for you ladies? What do you think? So really great tool. Really, really great tool.
Awesome. Were there any other apps that you would recommend?
Yes, groups. I don't have my phone right in front of me because I'm trying to be polite and not really work. Like, sorry if you hear the Facebook chiming. There is a limit to what I can turn off in my life. There is a ton of apps at least through Apple, I'm sure they're the same no matter what you use, that are specifically designed so that you can text a large group of people without it being a group message. This might only be a problem for iPhone users because I've never used any other phone other than like that fat phone, so I can't tell you about those other ones. But a big problem with iPhones is, the group message, it's like if one person responds back, no, I won't be there, like 150 people saw that. Mm-hmm. And then like ding, 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 ding on the person's phone. And you're like, who did this to me? So check out apps that are meant to send out batch texts with no group replies. So I do that for my team. I do that for my customers, especially. I'm servicing about 200 customers here in Clarksville, Tennessee. And so I cannot copy paste 200 times. I just don't literally have the time to do that. Mm-hmm. So that works perfect. Any kind of group messaging app for your phone.
Do you know what the names of those apps are?
I will have to probably email them to you, Chantel, because like I said, I didn't bring my phone in. Okay. If you are an Apple user and you search in your apps, I think a good one is Group Me. They're free. And you literally, basically, the idea of the system is kind of when you're looking through the description, look for something that says group or text message a group of 50 more people without the reply responses. Look for something like that. Of course, put maybe free Group Me because it's also an app you can pay for. Mm-hmm. I think it's worth the money if you're servicing a large amount of customers or a large team, because literally I can type in, just wanted to check in. The new catalog should have hit your mailbox Monday. Great new summer colors. Let me know if you need anything. Maybe I'll run some specials. Text me. I'll tell you. Right? And you can insert little like first name codes before text so that when you go to hit send, it'll send it to Sylvia, and then your message. Whatever first name is set up in your contact, that's what they'll insert. Kind of like a phone merge, like mail merge, but it's like your phone merge.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think those are super important. And I've found really big success on that because I know that, reaching out to your customers, personal touch is important. But I literally have some customers that really would rather me not call, if they're like 35 and below.
Yeah, they're like, text me.
Facebook message me, or now I'm going to have to be like, but 35 and below, please don't call me. You'll leave them a voicemail message. They'll never listen to it, or their voicemail service isn't set up and missed calls. You don't respond back unless someone leaves you a message, right? I mean, whoever calls a missed call back? I don't. So yeah, definitely any kind of group texting service is amazing.
Oh, awesome. Anything else?
Oh, goodness. I think those are kind of the big ones. I mean, of course, social media, online, that's kind of my big reach out. And then secondary is kind of all the extra apps on the phone. Yeah, I'm not thinking of anything else. I think I mentioned this in the video we did last time. I think, really, honestly, the most important thing is Google, like, whatever you sell, and then your hometown. Mm-hmm. Google Mary Kay, Clarksville, Tennessee. Chantel, you need to Google Cincy, whatever city and state. And you need to find yourself in the first page. Okay? No, like, next on Google search, right? No one does that.
Right.
So, like, really kind of see where your rankings are and then just start doing your research. If some of the things help you, great. But if they don't, Google it. That's what people do to find you. So Google top 10 places I should register my business. And you'll have so many links that kind of give you great ideas. Or register and be part of some of these social networking communities that send you weekly newsletters on what's new and hot and different. So just kind of get out there and search it.
Awesome. All right. Well, thank you so much for all of your awesome advice today. I cannot wait to go and get some of these things started and get myself on some of these lists.
Yeah, and now I'm going to have to Google Plus, so I appreciate you too.
Yay! I know, I'm like really excited about this Google Plus thing. I just feel like I have so much other stuff with like my daily normal stuff going on that like to poke around on it takes a while, but
it does. It's so horrible. We have a saying in Mary Kay that like paperwork doesn't start till 9. So this might seem like an enemy to some, but this is my life. So I do people till 9 p.m. And then all the work at 9 p.m. on is like doing what you're about to do, learning Google Plus, right? So 9:01, don't call me. I'll be checking out Google Plus. I work till early in the morning sometimes, but you know, Oprah didn't get to where she was by working 2 hours a week. That's all I have to say.
Oh yes, I completely agree. It's definitely possible to be whatever you want to be. I watched the Barbara Walters special, like, because I guess she's retiring or whatever. And that woman, she did so much. Like, I could not believe it. I was just like, you know, people like that just, I mean, come out of nowhere. Like, I don't know. They're just such an inspiration to me because I'm just like, man, they just really built something and really impacted the world. And I may not be on TV, but...
So true. Like, I think people think, oh, this is like my son. Like, looking through the eyes of my 10-year-old son who wants to be a YouTuber when he grows up. He literally thinks all he has to do is, like, do one video of one finger death punch, and he's going to have 1 million views, right? Mm-hmm. I think it's like that with anything. It's not, if you look into people like Barbara Walters or Oprah Winfrey, they worked so hard. They were constantly reinventing themselves, learning new things. And it's so true. We have Mary Kay consultants that are in their 60s who just like refuse to learn Facebook. And that's fine, but you're going to go out like the dinosaurs, man. You know, it's like you can't, right? You can't get to where you want to go without evolving. So I just really hope that everyone goes out, learns like 5 new things about social media this next week, and then puts them into use. And if you're on the Limitless Unit team, I'll give you a prize for doing 5 new things on social media. So girls, get on it.
Awesome. All right. Well, again, thanks for being here today and sharing all of this wonderful information. And I'm sure our listeners are super appreciative too. So thank you from them.
Colin, thank you for having me.
All righty.
Thanks for listening, and we look forward to meeting you at DirectSellNation.com, where we support the guys and gals next door. Be sure to tune in next time for more great information from Direct Sell Nation and Chantel Schultz. Please be aware that these interviews are conducted with independent representatives and are not official spokespersons for their respective companies. For more information about a specific company, please visit their website.